There's so much information today. I don't even know where to start. And what I love about it is that it's textured, it's juicy, it's tawdry, it's salacious, it's fun, it's exciting, it's great. And I love it. And I love the fact that it's of a concupiscent manner in some resorts. Hello, everybody. Uncle Lenny here with you for our evening version of this thing of ours. I'm so glad you can be with us. Thank you so much. I've got a lot to talk about, a lot. And I'm so glad that you could be here with us this eve. The Democrats are still trying to recover from last night. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. None. This guy, there is no way to put into words, to explicate, to limn in any way, with any degree of rationality, how horrible this man was. They had no idea. I mean, they knew he wouldn't be that great, but never like this. He was an abomination. He was absolutely a disgrace. And they don't know what to do. And I'm loving it. Loving it more than you can imagine. Now, let me tell you something. There is a fellow who is getting a lot of attention recently. And there's something that's happening. You see where Wells Fargo, all the banks went down, zeroed balances. My God. And there is a fellow, you might have heard, his name is Harold Daggett. Have you heard who Harold Daggett is? Have you heard the name? Harold Daggett. Daggett, be careful. Rhymes with Daggett. He is the head of the Longshoremen's Association. This is a man who said the following. Listen carefully.
These people today don't know what a strike is.
Right.
When my men hit the streets, from Maine to Texas, every single port will lock down. You know what's going to happen? I'll tell you. First week, be all over the news every night, boom, boom. Second week, guys who sell cars can't sell cars because the cars ain't coming in off the ships. They get laid off. Third week, malls start closing down. They can't get the goods from China. They can't sell clothes. They can't do this. Everything in the United States comes on a ship. They go out of business. Construction workers get laid off because the materials aren't coming in. The steel's not coming in. The lumber's not coming in. They lose their job. Everybody's hating the longshoremen now because now they realize how important our jobs are. Now I have the president screaming at me, I'm putting a Taft-Hartley on you. Go ahead. Taft-Hartley means I have to go back to work for 90 days. That's a cooling off period. Do you think when I go back for 90 days, those men are going to go to work on that pier? It's going to cost the company's money to pay their salaries. Well, they went from 30 moves an hour maybe to 8. They're going to be like this. Who's going to win here in the long run? You're better off sitting down and let's get a contract and let's move on with this world. And in today's world, I'll cripple you. I will cripple you, and you have no idea what that means. Nobody does.
Did you hear what this guy said? Harold Daggett. No, they're doing everything in their power. Oh, he is mob connected. Oh, he lives in a big home in Sparta. Oh, he makes $700,000. Would you listen to what he's saying? Would you listen to what he's saying? We are in every single day. There is more and more of an indicator of stuff that's going wrong. That's why I'm telling you right now, my friends, My Patriot Supply, guns, ammo, water, energy, it's here. In the event something goes wrong and you never thought about this because you figured, I want to hear this guy. He sounds fun. They're telling you he wants to justify his existence. He wants to explain. It's not just him. It's everybody. Did you hear what happened today? Again, Wells Fargo. How did their system go down? How is this going on? You are not believing what I'm hearing from friends of mine who are doctors about and how they are talking now like they never talked before. Doctors who were saying, don't you understand? Trust the science. We're talking about eventually 6G Wi-Fi. Whenever you bring this up, we've been talking about this forever, not to mention everything they're spraying, everything. Remember colony collapse disorder, bees, everything. If there is a disaster, it takes one little glitch before it all turns to scheisse. Preparewithlionel.com. There is the link. I have it under the description. Water, ammo, they can't help you with that. Emergency, generators, and food. Food for a week, a month, 90 days, a year. The entire family. You'll never have to worry about that. Think about that. Preparewithlionel.com. They are telling you. They're telling you right now, specifically. They're not kidding around. This is going to happen. And this administration has no idea of what the hell they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. Okay? They used to be called preppers, people. Mm-hmm. That is the second time that happened, my friends. I have no idea what the hell's going on here. Now, let's talk about tawdry. Let's talk about some great stuff, shall we? First and foremost, is there would you be so kind? There was a little pad of paper that I had. Did you hear the story? I hope, by the way, I hope that you have subscribed to Lionel Nation. And I hope you subscribe to Lionel Legal. Thank you, my darling. The hit today, she was on Nancy Grace today. She owns it. She owns Nancy Grace. Nancy Grace is one of the few people who actually discusses the stuff that we need to be talking about. RFK dug Emhoff, the wife, husband, the guy wife, whatever the hell he's called. Dems freaking and Diddy, among others, and RFK. I don't even know where to start. Let's go to the good one. Let's go to the first one. Let's go to the best story there is. Have you heard of Doug Emhoff? Ladies, I'm going to turn to you right now. You know why? Because you're smart, you know what's going on, and you are so suspicious it's not even funny. But first and foremost, let me say to Mark Barnes, thank you, my brother. Thanks for becoming a member. Crypto Domini. It's bad, Uncle Lenny. It is bad indeed. Ladies, what's your thought on Doug Emhoff, Kamala's husband? What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Give me an idea. Oh, yeah, he slapped his girlfriend. We'll talk about that. But before we get that, this is the woman who did her time with Willie Brown, Montel. She was a party girl. She was, you could tell this one in her prime, in her youth, you could tell she was wild. Come on. If you can't see that, you haven't lived. You haven't been around. If you can't see what she's about, come on. Out of all the people in the world, that she would have married, why this nebbishy Doug? Why? Look at him. Did you hear him? Okay, we'll talk about him in a moment. Okay? He's the wife guy. I'm going to bring you a couple of things here. And excuse me, but I keep losing my clips. That's why I had to go back and start, and I was running late. I don't know what the hell's the matter with this thing. But it doesn't matter. I'm here to serve, my friends. I am here to serve. Let's start off with this. Okay? What is it? Okay, this will make you step. What the hell's the matter with this guy? Look at Tampon Timmy. What the hell's the matter with this guy? Does this look like a politician? He's like a game show host, like The Price is Right. What is the matter with him? This isn't just us being mean. This isn't. Look at this. He's like a game show host. It's like an Amway meeting. What the hell's the matter with him? What the hell's the matter with him? You think they would tell him after Jim Gaffigan, don't stop doing it. Kamala stopped the cackling. She stopped the laughing. She stopped it. She realized, I got to stop doing this. She finally did it. God bless her. She finally did it. Dear God. Okay. Let's go to the next one. What's this? This is
abortion.
Oh, we'll get to this in a moment. We'll get to this. I'm sorry I have to show you my clips. We'll get to this in a moment. This is the one I want to show you. This one here.
An interesting part.
Oh, yeah. Here's Jen Psaki. Jen Psaki, because she sucks at this. She has no business being this. She is such a wimp. They're phoning it in. She wasn't bad as an obstructionist White House reporter or representative. But here she is talking to to Slappy. Remember Slappy White? Remember him? Remember Slappy White? We're going to call him Slappy Imhoff. He's the wife guy. All right. Listen to how she talks to him.
Important part, an interesting part of how people have talked about your role here is how your role has reshaped the perception of masculinity.
Now, first of all, look at this guy. I would say, don't you ever ask me about me reshaping masculinity. What are you kidding me? This is a joke? What's the matter with you? You're asking me that question? What the hell's the matter with you? Masculinity? Don't ask me that question. What are you, stupid? Even I know what I look like. Don't do this. You're basically creating a punchline, and I'm the joke. This is where these people are. Somebody said, oh yeah, let's go with the masculinity. What are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about?
And I'm not sure you planned on that, but you are an incredibly supportive spouse. Has that been an evolution for you? And do you think that's part of the role you might play as first gentleman?
He's a supportive spouse. A lot of us are supporting spouse. What the hell's the matter with you? Redefining masculinity? Who wrote this shite? Who wrote this? Listen to old Doug.
It's funny. I've started to think a lot about this. I've always been like this. My dad was like this. And to me, it's the...
I've always been like this. My dad was like that. I've always been like that. You want to hear about him? You want to hear about old Doug? Wife guy? Do you want to hear about Doug? Come on, don't you? I know you do. Oh, I know you do. He's something else. Oh, wife guy is just, they call him the wife guy. Isn't that the saddest thing you've ever heard in your life? The wife guy. Okay? Let's talk about the wife guy, shall we? Okay, you don't mind? Okay. Well, like I said, don't forget, got a big one dropping at 8. That sounds weird. Got a big one dropping at 8 o'clock. Later on, please subscribe to Lionel Nation for you to hear this. Doug Emhoff, the wife guy, the second gentleman, is, to use their words, weird. Now, here's the latest allegation. I love this one. And they're going to ignore it. They're going to try to redo that January 6th. Oh, the Judge Duncan opened up the redacted oath. Would you forget the January 6th? That and abortion. Oh, Melania, she is for abortion rights, and that's going to... Would you stop it? Stop it. Stop it. So anyway, Doug, Big Doug, once, this is according to allegations, slapped the shite out of a former girlfriend in the face so hard she spun around. In public at this A-list French Cannes film festival thing. And they're not saying a damn thing about it. Why? Because you see, this doesn't seem to go with their campaign of good character and joy. We're into joy. We're into joy. Okay? She's always telling them, but we're joy. We're happy. We're joy. Oh, he's such a great guy. Let's talk about it. And oh, she's the former prosecutor fiercely defending victims. They don't want to have anything. They have no clues of what's going on. Now, here's what they're hoping for. Maybe what they're hoping for is that the apparatchiks and the sock puppets in the mainstream media are going to just cover for them, which they normally do. In fact, Jen Psaki, you saw her. Boy, isn't she exciting? She couldn't lure me out of a burning building. Jen Psaki, Peppermint Patty, bless her heart. She's, Biden's former press secretary. She had to sit down with the redefining masculinity. Are you? And getting rid of toxic masculinity. This is why people like Andrew Tate come out of nowhere, because people are so in need of somebody acting, I guess, somebody like they're not like Liberace. But this guy, redefining, he's a redefining. Now, the allegation, so that you understand it, is that Kamala's hubby, the wife guy, once slapped the shit out of this former girlfriend in the face, again, so hard she spun around. Oh, as we say in West Tampa. She said, your role has reshaped the perception of masculinity. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he sure did, all right. He sure did. Psaki already knew. Everybody knew this. They knew that he had already impregnated his nanny. What? That's right. Impregnated his nanny. No, what am I doing this? Who was also his daughter, Ella. You know Ella. Ella. Anyway, this is Ella's school teacher, while married to his first wife, Ella's mom. But she has zero questions about that. See? I've always been like this, he says. And to me, it's the right thing to do. To support women. Que mierda. Now, what kind of man brags about you just being decent, huh? Somebody who can't believe he's saying it himself. Had anybody from this rancid, putrescent media actually looked into this story, maybe investigated him, maybe they might have learned that the nanny, about what he did with the baby. Okay, we'll get to this. So, Doug, this is very interesting. Doug told the woman he allegedly hit, because remember, this is all people are presumed innocent. This is what she said. This is what the Daily Mail is reporting. So Doug supposedly told her that he paid the nanny $80,000 to go away, made her sign an NDA, and kind of like just rejected her claims about how her reported miscarriage came about. And, oh, well, what are you going to do? You got that one? But this guy, for some reason, has been refabricated, repositioned, repackaged, something. Getting so excited, I'm losing my glasses. With help from the media. And there's this wife guy, whatever that means, a wife guy? This woman's ally, kind of like the Alan Alda of his time. And we also said, you know what? He said he's so great, he's so proud of his wife, that he gave up his job as a big shot lawyer so he could sit back and make muffins and be the house husband and wife guy. Maybe it's because he was representing, arms dealers who were selling stuff to Afghanistan, maybe Big Pharma, maybe some nightclub honcho accused of sexual harassment and battery. Maybe that's it. Kind of make him step down so as not to kill her political future. You think this guy wants to do this so I can stay home and support my wife? What are you? They think you're believing this. And he said, your role, this is Jen Psaki, your role has reshaped the perception of masculinity. How can you sit across this dweeb and actually say that? Can you believe what's happening here? Am I the only one who sees this? Am I the only one? Nelson A. says, didn't Doug dig into his children's nanny? Well, I just told you. Mr. Kamala Harris, masculine? Come on. I'm with you there, my friend. I'm with you there. Listen, nothing wrong with a woman. Maggie Thatcher's husband was strong. Nothing wrong with supporting a woman. I support my wife, not because I'm some redefining masculinity, because I love her and she's tops and that's it. This is like a no-brainer. She supports me, I support her. I don't have to announce it. It doesn't sound like it's some kind of a big deal. Don't men support their wives? I don't understand this. So anyway, this woman came along in the mail, Daily Mail. Her name is Jane, the pseudonym Jane. It said that claims that she dated old Doug Slappy in 2012. And she reported how he, quote, came in hot. Don't you love that expression? Came in hot. Love bombed her, called her, love bombed her. And introduced her to his son, Cole, because he got Cole and Emma, who was a teenager at the time, on their first date. She said it was kind of weird, the whole thing. Also, he bummed a cigarette from his son, and it's weird. She said it was just weird. And she got the impression from talking to him that Doug's wife did well in the divorce and couldn't understand why. Anyway, 2 months after that first date, there was this trip they took to Cannes in France, some charity event on May 24th. That's when Slappy did a Dr. D. David Schultz, like with remember John Stossel? You think it's fake? Pow. So one of Jane's friends, this is important, who was a New York City businessman, says he got a call from Jane right after it happened. And he said, according to the Daily Mail, quote, it was hard to hear her because she was sobbing. She told me she was with a guy and hit her. Jane said she had listen to this. She had ordered the valet, or excuse me, she had slipped the valet or offered him money to skip this line outside the gala so they can get him. And she said she may have put her hand on his shoulder for whatever reason. Doug went berserk. Saw this as flirting. The man who loves women, allegedly, and then slapped the hell out of her. In fact, her face hard. What man? Listen, I look. First of all, what man hits a woman is a different story. But you're slapping a face? This sounds like something that Alexis Carrington does in Dynasty. Remember that when Joan Collins and Linda, what's her name, would go after it? They would pull each other's hair on. Does this sound like a man redefining masculinity? The businessman said, my impression is that he had a lot to drink. She was sobbing, but wasn't slurring her words. And she told me that she broke up that night. Okay. She then, listen, I'll tell you why this is important. She then contemporaneously told another friend of hers, who happened to be a female lawyer, the same thing. Okay. Now, why is that important? Check back to the time. Remember when E. Jean Carroll, remember her? E. Jean Carroll was a woman that claims that Donald Trump had defiled her and did terrible things to her and sued him and everything. E. Jean Carroll used as a basis of substantiation and corroboration, used the fact that she called her friend Lisa, whatever her name was, who wrote the book about preppies, called her and she said, yep, she called me right at that time. So that's important. It's important. I mean, this is what she also told another person in 2018. That woman corroborated the story. So this is incredible. This is just nuts. Now, nobody's going to do anything. Nobody's going to say anything. Nobody's going to. And then you can talk about Najan Taylor. You can go on and on. You can read this. This is look, normally, I think most of us come with the realization that this stuff doesn't really matter. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. I mean, of course, does. Yeah, theoretically. But, this is, how do I say this? This is, politics. But But when something keeps being injected into our psyche, when something is constantly being reminded, or we're told of this, it has something to do with their character and who they are. Okay? That's one thing. So if that's Doug, oh, Slappy, okay? You can read about that. They're not going to mention a damn thing of it. But that is the weirdest dude around. Okay? Next, RFK Jr. This guy, I think he loves it. Lori Cuck says one should matter with only should matter with phone receipts. Could be. Could be. Of course, they're just going to ignore this. Now, if this was Donald Trump, forget it. Forget about it. It would be absolutely the biggest story anybody has ever heard. They would say, "Dear God." Okay, fine. That's the way that goes. Let me talk about RFK Jr. for a moment. This is the guy who redefines masculinity. There's something wrong with the guy. Okay, I like what he says about food additives. I like what he says about vaccine. I like what he says about autism. I like all this stuff. But there's something wrong with him. Cheryl Hines is out the door with him. It's just a matter of time. Everybody's saying she has had it, and not because of this Nutsi woman, but because of the fact that she basically can't get a gig in her own world of Hollywood because of this. She can't do it. She can't do it. So that's one thing. Plus, we're learning, it is alleged, again, is it anybody's business? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But it's alleged that he hooked up also with a bunch of these chippies during the anti-vax movement, whatever the hell you want to call it. And I knew this. Mrs. Ellen and I saw it. We were at this event one night with Shmuley Botiak. And by the way, he's also, he is so complicated. He's great with what he talks about regarding, vaccines, health, food additives. Love it. Great. Wonderful. Thank you for that. Terrific. Excellent. Good for you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. Okay. But, and here's the other part. But, when he immediately went with Shmuley Botiak and Adelson and this and all the accusations, they said, you're a shill for AIPAC. And he just lost huge swaths of the left. You never hear about that. Nobody tells you about that. Nobody talks to you about that. Nobody understands it. And he's been kind of quiet about that. So he's over there. Okay? Fine. That's number one. Number two, his wife, Cheryl, says, I'm alienated big time in Hollywood because of this. I got to take off because you basically, I knew about the infidelity, but this Trump stuff, I'm doomed. Lori Cuck says, Sharon Hines, what's her story? Or Cheryl Hines? Curb Your Enthusiasm, typical, she just got into this. Why she married this guy, I have no idea. Does she not know? It's almost like saying, look, if you marry somebody and you know they're a drunk or you know they're a whatever it is, it doesn't make it right. If you know somebody's a wife beater or a philanderer and you marry them, you're not going to change them. Don't you know this? You're not going to change it. Why are you doing this? It's a different story altogether. But there's something wrong with him. He takes risks. He does stupid things. The bareheaded, what? So you know what? President Trump, be careful. Let him way over there. Don't make him the head of CDC. Don't make him the head of, God forbid they get him in some kind of a honeypot. Next thing you know, they blackmail him to approve some drug. He can't be trusted. I know you don't want to hear that. We can't have little boys in this. I'm sorry. When you're at the world of this, when you're at the level of high stakes stuff, and you're in my country representing my fellow citizens, and you're walking around thinking like you're some Lothario, some Don Juan, and you're opening up yourself to every conceivable form of blackmail, you're not on my team. Get out. By the way, that goes for you, President Trump, and that goes for Don Jr. Trump's learned his lesson. But there's something in these guys. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure how this thing works or why, but that's it. Okay. Next. You have no idea what the Diddy case is like. You have no earthly idea. If this guy makes it 6 months, if some unbelievable, just unfortunate end comes to this great American, I will be shocked like you cannot believe. Do you know the names? The names that are coming forth. Oh my God. And not only that, in some circles, listen to how barbaric this is. In some circles, when you involve any kind of allegations involving children is bad enough. But in some circles, this very highly, overly masculine, hyper male world, there are allegations of same-sex trysts and the like, hooking up between men, people whose rap, hip-hop, and Hollywood images would be shattered irreparably if it got out that not only was this person doing this, but this person was involved in activities that are now I'm sorry, that's bizarre. I know what you're saying. People think, wow, it's Hollywood. And no, it's not. Hollywood. And in the Black community and the hip hop in particular, there was a time in California. Remember, was it Prop 8 or one of the props? I don't remember. And it dealt with the idea of gay marriage being legalized. It was a referendum. And some folks believed that that the Black population would certainly understand, would feel some simpatico with these folks because, and this is important, they would feel something because of the fact that in 1967, anti-miscegenation laws were such so that, how do I say this? They were such so that the blacks and whites couldn't marry, couldn't have children, couldn't cohabitate, the whole bit. So people thought at the time that obviously we will go to the Black community who will join us. And the Black community said, are you out of your mind? Look at that. The dude that shot up Trump Hotel said, Diddy, I don't know. You're going to, Lori, listen to what I'm saying. You don't have there is no end to who was involved and who said what. So let me just say something. It's one thing if you say, now, why they were at these parties, I don't know. Why maybe they were in private. They thought nobody would see this. I don't know. This I don't know. If this gets out and you have multi-million-dollar player and this guy is gay, it normally wouldn't, but this could, people will get very desperate to make sure that doesn't go away. See, it's a different world. It's not like in Hollywood. It's not like, well, and even that, this is the irony of this, in the world of entertainment. Who was a fellow from Mary's Wedding? Colin, what's his name? Or not Colin. He was the actor who came out as gay and it ruined him. Rupert Everett. He was under the impression that, well, they say, oh, no. Well, you're done. If you're an action star in Hollywood, an action star, and you think you can come out and tell people, oh, I'm really gay. What? Oh, no, 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 no. It's so these are the biggest bunch of phonies. So let me tell you something. If there are 1, 2, 3, 10 different people whose entire life millions can change, not to mention others, with that guy there, if there's no Diddy, there's no problem. Put it this way, if there's no Diddy, it's all, well, that's what you say. Well, that's what you say. Yeah, but I'm sorry, he's not here. I can't, I'm sorry, I need to authenticate this picture. I need to authenticate this story. I can't cross-examine a corpse. I'm sorry. Charges drop, things go away. That's it. And then they work on basically taking his property, taking his estate, divvying it up. He's going to go into bankruptcy, and then they're going to give X amount to the victims, and that's it. It's a lot easier if he's not there. You see what I'm saying? Crypto says it's hard to understand. No big names come yet. Oh, no. Oh, they're there. What you're hearing is unbelievable. The lawyers are going to do everything in their power. They don't want you necessarily. Look, if I represent you and I find out that some huge, big Hollywood big shot is involved in this, I get to make a settlement where maybe for an undisclosed amount, or we'll just settle and I won't bring up your name. That's a settlement. I don't have to identify. I can dismiss this before we even file suit, before we even do this. If I know that star X, I'm going to nail him. I go to the lawyer for the person and say, look, here's the story. This is what we got. This, and this. Here's your picture. Here's picture. This goes away. Now, you get into a problem when you have federal or you have concomitant prosecutions. They can screw things up for you. You can't go to the prosecutor and say, hey, listen, do me a favor. I just got a $25 million settlement from this guy and about 3 or 4 different music companies. Drop the charges. Oh, we're not going to. No, you don't understand. We're the victim. We're the victim. And no, we're going through with this. Yeah, but if you go through with it, you kill our leverage. So what? No, you can't charge him. We're going to charge him. And your client's going to have to testify. But but you just killed our civil case. I don't care. I'm a prosecutor. I don't care about your civil case. Oh. They got a hugely powerful lawyer. Her name is something Shapiro. She worked with, I think, Bankman-Fried. She's big into appellate stuff. I don't know who this clown was they got before, but this guy was out in front and he was saying just some of the most ridiculous things in the world. Okay, you got that? So keep in mind this. This is huge. Bobby Kennedy, I don't know what's good. Cheryl Hines, she's out the door. They don't need this stuff. Bobby's with this girl, Nutsi. She's look at me, look at the pictures. There's something wrong with this guy. And I know you like him. Okay, but I like an adult. Crypto says, right. We're just used to the dastard by now. Indeed. Okay. Now let me show you something too. This is also very critical. I was talking to a friend of mine. I haven't seen him in a long time. And he's in California. And we're talking about abortion. And it's so funny because I haven't talked to people in 24 years, 25 years. And these people that I thought were kind of lefty Dems at the time, now they're hardcore. And I sound like, Ramsey Lewis. Or Ramsey Clark. No, not Ramsey Lewis. Ramsey Lewis is the great. Anyway, Ramsey Clark. I am of the opinion that the world has changed so drastically now. This guy's telling me he's basically against abortion. This is what kids will do to you. The world is different. The world is completely different. Let me tell you this one. You ready for this? Here's a new one for you. You're going to love this story. This is Oh, I already did that one. Yeah, I did that. Okay. So this is what the big powerhouses used to say about abortion when they had a conscience.
Abortion should remain legal, but it needs to be safe and rare. And I have spent many years now as a private citizen, as First Lady, and now as Senator, trying to make it rare, trying to create the conditions where women had other choices.
See this?
I have supported adoption, foster care.
Doesn't this sound wise? Yes.
I helped to create the campaign against teenage pregnancy, which fulfilled our original goal 10 years ago of reducing teenage pregnancies by about a third. And I think we have to do even more. You know, when I think about this issue, I think about the whole range of concerns and challenges associated with it. And I will continue to do what I can to reduce the number and to improve and increase the care for women.
Yep.
And particularly the adoption system and the other opportunities that women would have to make different choices.
Watch Joe.
I do not view abortion as a choice and a right. I think it's always a tragedy, and I think that it should be rare and safe. And I think we should be focusing on how to limit the number of abortions.
Who are these people? What happened to them? It's rational thinking. Crypto says, I'm just not into funding abortion. Interesting. Pilgrim Media says, why did Diddy choose the counsel he has? You mean the first one or the second one? The second one, I think somebody told him, get smart. Crypto says the abortion bus at the DNC. Yes. Remember that one? Let me tell you something. These women, first of all, some people may say it might be better. This woman Shapiro is very good. I think she clerked for Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She's just very, very old, not old school, but kind of a boutique, very rational. You're going to be talking about getting your hands dirty. There's some nasty people you're going to be dealing with and some nasty claims. Okay, so that's that. You got what's going on here? The world is coming to an end. I don't understand anything. I mean, nothing makes sense. Did you see that, honey? Wells Fargo? Everything. They were like zeroed out. I said, what happened? I guess they bring it back. Yeah, people read it. And then they want central bank digital currency, CBDC. What are you, nuts? We are so close to this. The number of people that I am talking to, the number of people, the doctors who during the Rona were 100%. Oh, you got to do it. Oh, you got to do it. Okay, fine. And I'm going to go on the record again for the millionth time. I'm not saying there wasn't SARS-CoV-2. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that that vaccines didn't help people. I'm not a physician. All I know is that the people, this one in particular, who was, just said, you're crazy to do it. Now is saying, I've got a lot of problems. I've got this, I've got that. The world is different. It is happening. It is, get ready for the tumult. Get ready for this. Nothing makes sense to me, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing. And I don't know if they're doing this to just freak me out or they're doing it because they don't know what the hell they're doing. But why would anybody in their right mind bring Tampon Timmy out as your choice? I would have told immediately, not this guy. You've got literally, J.D. Vance was good. But he wasn't, he was just so great compared to numbnuts. He was good, knew his stuff, knew the thing, but J.D. Vance is the default. This is what you should be. You've got this idiot. You've got this man. I got to be very careful saying things about people are effeminate and all this stuff. And I don't want to say that because it sounds, but I've got friends of mine who are gay who are saying, look at this. What is it? It's The Price is Right. Just watch. Just watch. Look at this. What kind of neurological disease is this? What is this? Who is he waving at? Pointing. He's doing Jim Gaffigan nailed it so well, it's not even remotely funny. How did they pick this? Look at him. He looks like he's going on a field trip, and he's Mr. Hello, Mr. Falbo. Laurie Cook says they put it in our faces, the bus, to get someone to react with violence. Could very well be. Crypto says nothing like chemtrail sunsets. Oh, aren't they? Do not ever use the word chemtrails. They're called geoengineering. How long has Uncle Lenny been talking about that? To the point of, I heard something today. I heard one of the most incredible excoriations of what's happening in the Middle East. Javier Bardem talking about Gaza. Not Gaza, Gaza. Because they're doing the Castilian Gaza. He was so spot on. Did you ever hear this? Did you ever see the guy Bilzerian? You know who Bilzerian is? This is a guy who said he was a Navy SEAL. His father was Paul Bilzerian. He's got the beard. I don't know if he was full of it. He was reminding me kind of like an Andrew Tate, like I'm a tough guy. I look at my babes and look at my, you know what I mean? I thought he was a jadrul the whole time. He sat down with Patrick Ben-David in his version of what was going on in the Middle East. And through a veil of F-bombs or whatever, he absolutely nailed it. I was listening to somebody today, a person who I detest. We go way back, and I despise him as a person. I don't give it that much, but I just despise him. He was saying stuff today regarding the Middle East. He was 100% correct. 100% correct. I don't even know. Amy Goodman used to say things. They go, what? Have you seen Norman Finkelstein lately? Norman Finkelstein, during his prime, was considered, this guy's a nut because he talked like this, and he said, and the problem with all the problems in the God, but I go, who is this? Who is he? He sounds like he does, like is like a brilliant. Piers Morgan, devolving. Mehmet Hassan or whatever, brilliant. I mean, I don't know what's going on anymore. I don't know what's going on. I'm talking to my old friend today, and he's telling me, I don't even know. It's all changing. I'm going to say this again. By the way, Nelson A just gifted 5 Lionel Nation memberships. Nelson, you're a gas. Thank you. Pilgrim says, tell us a bedtime story, Uncle Lenny. I'll tell you one. Crypto Domini says, I mean, nothing makes sense anymore. Nothing, not even seeing geoengineered sunsets. You're right. I remember one time talking to a guy who was a television weatherman. I said, why don't you talk about geoengineering? What? He says, why don't you look and see and ask, what is this? Look at it. These octothorpe, cross-hatched, tic-tac-toe designs, you schmuck. Open your eyes. How do you not see this? And he looked at me and said, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, look. I remember this. Look. We can look out, especially now, one of the seasons, at night, right when it's sunset, we look out over the Hudson, and there's orange, and you just, oh my God. They're coming around. Everything is changing drastically. There's this thing which is funny. Hoda Kotb, I still think it's funny. $20 million on the Today Show to sit around and look like she's passing a hockey puck. Her laughing is pain. $20 million. Caitlin, whatever the hell her name is, not Collins. No, yeah, Collins, I guess. Yeah, Caitlin Collins from CNN. She makes $3 million. Those days are over. Rachel Maddow makes $35 million. She goes 1 day a week. This is best one too. Robert Downey Jr. is on Broadway. People are saying, "What the hell, Robert Downey? Aren't people going to show up?" And no, yeah, but this is Iron Man. So what? What are you talking about? The show dies. It's a piece of God. The reviews are horrible. Everything is different. Everything is different. Look at the way I'm speaking to you. Look at the way we talk. Can you imagine me on TV trying to do this, trying to talk to you like that? They'll say, "Get this guy out. He's crazy." What? Because I'm talking to you. I'm looking at you and I'm talking to you. They don't do that. Thank you very much. Let's go right now to Dick Tremaine. Wait a minute. Dick, how was that? Wasn't it a little cold, wasn't it? Oh, about those Mets, huh? Yeah, let's go right now to Dick Gazinia and the Sports Center. Dick, how about those Amazons, aren't they? What is this? Why are you doing this John Cameron Swayze nonsense? What are you doing? I mean, this is the most incredible thing in the world. You do know what's happening. And then the other night, let me ask you something. Do you remember, honey, when did you realize how bad Tampon Timmy was? When did it hit you? Like, huh? During the debate, I'm asking you. Mm-hmm. You kind of waited, and then maybe it's a question. Yeah. Well, no. I'm saying last night, the debate. When he starts writing, his face, he was looking into the camera. Right. It was like, what's going on here? Why didn't somebody say, listen, oh, hi, yeah, listen. Hey, Spielberg, yeah, listen, you owe us. You owe us. Oh, yeah, buddy. Right. Listen, do me a favor. I want you to bring all of I got somebody over there. We picked this numbnuts, I don't know why, to be the vice president. He needs coaching bad. You did a little bit of help with what's her name, but we've got 2 idiots, 2 morons, 2 subliterates who don't know what the hell they're doing. So we want you to come over and help us. Do you hear what I'm saying? Help us. We need your help badly. Capiche? You got it? And I'm going to tell him, do me a favor. Hey, listen, Timmy, yeah, I got news for you. We're going to put a pair of electrodes on your culione, on your nads. The first time you do that hand dancing, the first time you start waving like a fool, like you just won a car, like you're at the, name that, The Price is Right. The first time you do that, we're going to zap you. You will stop immediately. I don't know where you got this from, blood and guts. I don't know where you got this from. If you always did it, or you think it's happy, or you look like an idiot. Parents are grabbing their kids to keep them away from you. You're scaring people. If you acted like that in the public men's room, they'll call the moral squad. There's something weird about you. Your whole story is weird. You got the IVF thing wrong. Why are you doing IVF? I mean, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just saying, nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong. Why are you talking about this? Crypto says the way he silhouettes towards JD. The way he silhouettes. Yes, JD. It was something. Now, I would have loved to have been in the first place when JD walked back and turned to his wife and said, how did I do? How'd you do? You were incredible. You were incredible whether it was this guy or not. You were great. You made some people think, I like him more than Trump. Eh? And there's a few of you here who are saying, I like him more. I don't, because he doesn't have the culione to handle people like. You see Erdogan at the UN? He doesn't even look at you. He's like he scares the hell out of you. You think Tampon Timmy or Kamala can handle that? No. And even JD, he's 40 years old. He's a kid. Crypto said rated R Simpsons episode. Indeed. I say indeed because I'm not sure what you're saying, Crypto, but I love you. That's all that matters. I love you. I don't know what you're talking about, though, but I love you. This is the wildest stuff ever. The wildest. Bobby Kennedy, Doug, the wife guy. I don't even know what's happening. Kamala. Horrid. JTE says, in late from North Carolina, just to like this show. Like. Thank you, my friends. Please like it. Please like it. We are in the midst of something that is so big. There's going to be a dock strike. There's going to be a supply chain breakdown. There's going to be something to see us go nuts. And everybody out there, all of you who said, I don't understand what this Second Amendment business is. No, you idiot. The weapons weren't to protect you from the police. The weapons were to protect you from the criminals that the police can't get. Because if the police are minutes away, remember, the police don't prevent crime. Crypto says the way he looks reminds me of a character. Indeed, he does. If all of a sudden you're sitting there and let's think about this. And your daughter comes to Daddy, who are those men? What's going to happen whenever there's a disaster? What's going to happen when they find out that the police response time? Remember during COVID? Remember all the Verona police? All the police just stopped patrolling. Do you remember that? It was eerie. We were driving around in Jersey like, can we be here? Robert Bad to the Bone says, Trump for king. Indeed, or dictator. If your little daughter says, who are these men outside, Daddy? I don't know. Daddy, they're coming up the driveway. Who are they? They have sticks. They look mean. Uh-oh. Call 911. There is no 911. Do we have a dog? We don't have a dog. We got a poodle. We got a poodle. That's not going to help. Daddy, what do you have? I've got something that's really effective. And it's very loud and it's very scary. And you and your sister and your brother go into the safe room. I'll take care of this. And you want to put a sign outside that says, like I saw one time, scrawled on a pup tent. And it said, you better really want to come in here. And when they hear this Mossberg racking it, I mean, it's just, and you are going to need this one day. And it doesn't take much because the bad guys are not going to go to they're going to drive around and say, ooh, this looks like a nice place. Let's go to a place that in the old days it said Black Lives Matter. Remember that would put the Black Lives Matter? Because they thought that would prevent anybody from, bothering their home during any kind of a riot or moment of unrest. It's true. You know it's true. And all those people who laughed at you, they laughed at you about prepping, they laughed at you about water and ammunition and generators. They're going to be coming to you now. Can you help me? I'm sorry. What is we don't know what's going on here. Pilgrim Media says Lincoln suspended habeas corpus. Again, it could happen, certainly. Crypto says they shut down 911 in Pittsburgh earlier this year. Think about that. It takes this much for there to be complete and total anarchy. One little moment. And let me also tell you, dear friends, you listen to Uncle Lenny here. If you think you're going to have some kind of gun, you better know what the hell you're doing. I knew this one. Oh my God, I knew this Jadrul. He goes, well, I'm going to go out. I'm going to get a gun. I was like, wait a minute, no. I'm going to get a shotgun. A shotgun. Have you shot a shotgun before? Do you know what they do? Are you proficient with a shotgun? Where are you going to keep the shotgun? Where are you going to keep it? How do you keep it? Is it going to be next to your bed? What if you're sleeping and somebody comes in and goes right to your bed and says, well, they're going to keep it in here. Shotgun's in here. It's in the room somewhere. Well, that's when you don't keep it in the garage. And they take the shotgun from you. What are you going to do? Or better yet, you get the shotgun and you see somebody downstairs. What are you going to do? Everybody always says, well, I'll shoot. Oh, really? You want to shoot him? Yeah. Have you been through that before? Where are you going to shoot? Where are you going to shoot? center of mass? Can you do this? What do you shoot? What, you got buckshot? Hope it's not birdshot. You got buckshot? Can you do you know what a mess this is? Your wife and your kids are going to freak out when you're scraping somebody off the wall. You know what you're doing? You know what you're even talking about? No. No. They laughed at us. They laughed at us. I used to tell people all the time, you better understand the law. You better understand what you're doing. You better understand the scenario of this. You better understand what's happening because they're going to take you. They're going to sue you. And this guy's going to be some degenerate, some drug addict, some crazy person who's some veteran, and you shot him. True story. You ready for this? Have you ever seen homes like like townhouses? They look all the same. They're like next to each other. You're not sure where one starts and one ends, and they just look the same. I went to the car. So you go, by the way. It's a stretch. I came back, and I walked in, and I thought, wow, I don't remember this. These shoes here. That's weird because people, they different. And I hear this, can I help you? I said, oh, I'm sorry. And I walked out. I walked into the guy's house. What if he shot me? Did I pose a threat? I'm in his home. This is the castle doctrine. I traversed the portals. I broke the curtilage. This is trespass. He never get trespass is that's a general intent crime. I don't have to deliberately. It's not like burglary. Burglary is specific intent. Trespass is general. What if he shoots me? Nobody talks about this. Somebody thinks about this. What if you look outside and somebody's in your car? You look outside and somebody's in there and they got a Slim Jim or something trying to open up your car. What are you gonna do? Hey, get away from the car. You're gonna shoot him? Did he pose a threat to you? Oh, he's breaking into my car. You can't shoot him. No. Well, it's not a violent felony. You want to shoot somebody because they went into your car? Now, you might want to fire around or something, but they've shot. But nobody thinks. And that's why I know I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again till I'm blue in the face. I'm sorry. Forgive me. But I told you about this My Patriot Supply. Preparewithlionel.com. I used to always say, look, here, open your cap. What do you got? What do you got? How far can you go with this? How far? How far? Let's say there's just nothing. They're just closing things up. All of a sudden, it's empty. I've seen stores completely wiped out of water, milk, and bread. Why they do that, I have no idea. Over the slightest little. What are you going to do? And I love this prepare with Lionel. Was this some prepper thing? You goddamn right it's prepper thing. Absolutely. They used to laugh at this. Nobody's going to be laughing anymore. When do you think somebody's going to figure out what's happening? When they realize we are being immersed, bathed in every kind of 5G, Wi-Fi, everything you can imagine. Oh, there he goes again. So tell me, do you think that's good? Did you ever see people who live near power lines? Those big, ugly metal things that look like giant, do you ever wonder about that? Do you think they're okay? You think it's good or not to live underneath a power line? That's just electricity. What do you think Wi-Fi is going to do to you ultimately? I bought my kid yesterday, so thank you. God bless you. It's amazing how people think about this. Waterless matches. Thinking 247 people are being homicidal. It takes this much like that, this much. And I know what's happening. You get a bunch of young kids. You get a bunch of thugs. You get a bunch of people. You put them in a group, and they act like animals. You can take your little dog, your little Fifi, your little poodle, put little Fifi in a group of other dogs and let them kind of just become feral on your ass, and you won't even recognize little Fifi. Something happens to people. And I love the way they say, well, the bad guys get in their car and they go to the areas where the money is because they realize you're not ready for this. You're not ready for this. I'm telling you. And people like Kamala, Jason Pocaro says, dual October surprise, dock strike and disaster recovery. Power is 90 days out. How will people vote? Voter machine doesn't run on Democrats' lies. LOL. We'll see this. Never put anything. Let me tell you something. You made a good point. Give me somebody who's ruthless. The Republicans aren't. We're big talkers. I'm going to throw myself in there. I'm not a Republican, but we're big talkers. Big talkers. Pilgrim Media says, I've been a collector for a rainy day for years. Oh, yeah. How about these people are so sick, these bastards won't even let you keep rainwater? Isn't it something? Rainwater. I love to watch. You know what I love to watch? People living off the land. I had a dear friend of mine who passed away not too long ago. He was one of the smartest people. And he said, go online and look at all the young people converting campers. Have you seen the videos of YouTubes? Have you seen Japanese campers? Have you seen these? Japanese people, I love these people. They're from another planet. I saw bakery stuff they have. They're just, they think their food is, you ever seen Japanese eggs? The way they make like cyclones and, oh my God. Okay. They've been doing this conversion, but I've been watching a while back. Young people are saying, we don't want a mortgage. We don't want this. We don't want that. We want to convert our van. They live in a van, a big one, and you can't believe how nice it is. Young people are looking into canning, preserves. Canning is wonderful. Preserves. Grandma was right. JTE says, U.S. patent, weather weapon. Oh, I know. Crypto said, saw a video yesterday. Venice created hundreds of wells from rainwater. Thank you for that. I love watching survival people. I love this. I love the way they take the flint and they do this and they are in the woods and they're, I mean, we're going to go back into the most primordial, primeval, atavistic, I don't know what. And it's not, and you can say whatever you want. I don't say anything. Like, for example, you might put different stuff. I'm not putting stock in tribulations and revelation and eschatology and the end of times. I'm Armageddon. I'm not into that per se. But I am into calamities you cannot imagine. I want you to look at what the world of Gaza is. Look what these people are living in, and nobody's doing anything. And they're saying, well, they got to. Do you know what would happen if we had something really bad happen to us? Do you know what would happen? How the rest of the world would laugh their ass off. How do you feel now, U.S.? How do you feel now? You feel good about this? You feel good? How does it feel? Let me tell you something. We need powerful leadership. We need Donald Trump. And I don't want to hear this bullshit about, well, J.D. Vance was he was mighty good. I want a killer. I want a killer. I want somebody so ruthless. He's not even there yet. Don't put me in charge. I'm ruthless. And I will tell myself I'm doing this for a good reason. I will have to do this. I'm sorry, honey, but I've got to make an example of people. Why? They have to fear me, because if they fear me, they'll follow me. And if they follow me, we'll get out of this thing alive. But I can't live in the country where everybody can just say, I'm sorry, Mr. Free Speech here says, not in an emergency. And you brought up Lincoln with habeas corpus. He's absolutely right. When you know what hits the fan, the last thing I'm going to be worried about is your ability to speak freely. Okay? It's when these bastards decide to shut your freedom of speech down because you might have an alternative way of handling COVID. That's when I step in. But when it comes time, see, we're not a warrior nation at all. We don't have it. Because here's the thing. It's not about guns. It's not about training. It's not about SEAL Team 6 and carrying the log and going out and doing leg lifts in the surf. That's not it. It's the mentality. It's the mentality. You want to see some people who were deadly? Look at the Viet Cong. Look at the Vietnamese. Look at General Giap. Look what they did. These people aren't even real. They're from another planet. I love watching Lex Friedman. I love listening to hear stories about Genghis Khan and these Hannibal. Hannibal, during the first excursion, in one day, killed as many people, hacked Roman soldiers, equivalent to basically the entire amount of Americans killed during the Vietnam War in one day. Forget Antietam. See, we've got it very easy. We talk a big game. And we talk about the blood of liberty. No. If it comes down to it, there are those of us who are so vicious. And you know who is the most vicious? You know it and I know it. Women. Don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget that. Okay, my friends? Groovy. That's all I'm going to say. Crypto Domini, JTE, Pilgrim Media, Jason Pocaro, the Brad, I said Pilgrim, I said the Robert Bone, Bad to the Bone. Let me see. Nelson A., thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Lori Cuck, you're incredible. You're incredible. Let me see. That's it. I'm going to make sure. Sean Lucan, thank you. And Mark Barnes. Thank you, Mark Barnes. Remember Celino and Barnes here in New York? One of them died. Now it's Barnes. In any event. That's like when Gladys Knight and the Pips, they split up and this group was on their own called And the Pips. All right, my friends. Follow Mrs. L, Lynn's Warriors. Don't forget our friend at my Patriot Supply, yes, but of course our friend, the great, the noble. I know during talks of survival, but there's a man who's been surviving. This is the most incredible thing. It's mypillow.com/Lionel. mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. Government wants the lithium in Kings Mountain. Oh, yes. Did you see that one? Did you see that great piece called, oh, man, what was it called from, what is his name? Oh, God, what is his name? You know what I'm talking about. It's from Band Media or something. He talked about how they can direct hurricanes and, oh, man, don't talk about that here. So anyway, Mike Lindell has been fighting tooth and nail to survive, and they kept wanting to drive him. Mike Lindell is a hero. So I want you to go to mypillow.com/Lionel, mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. You buy everything they have and use promo code Lionel. That guy's he's got cojones like bowling balls. You understand that? And don't forget, October the 26th at the Cutting Room. Am I going to see you there? All of the stuff I've said to you, all of the names, all of the links are in the description section here on their YouTube. All right? Okay. All right, my friends. Don't forget, follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. Lynn's Warriors, okay? All right. Now, let me tell you something. I don't say this enough. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for love of country, for love of liberty, for love of truth, and for love of rational thinking. Just thinking rationally. Ratiocination. All right, my friends? Okay. Have a great and glorious day. See you tomorrow at 8 a.m. And don't forget, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da, da.